This is Rick Dehijo Benya, and today is the 7th day of August 2018. Today, I wanted to come to you with a little edubite, as I call it, about the idea of see something, say something. For some reason in our society, we have become very dependent on law enforcement, quote unquote. We become dependent upon them for things that ought to be handled by our neighbors, ought to be handled by our own clans. And this subject really relates to the video that I just put out. It was a short story that I wrote called Family is a Tree. The idea is the adversary of our faith has been so profoundly destructive to our families that our families are scattered abroad. They're all over the place. You talk to families and they got people living in all kinds of cities all around the world. It's highly probable that you have family that lives abroad, or relatives of some sort, a cousin, so on and so forth. People who would 100, 200 years ago would have been living in a centralized location and would have been working together to make things work. Today live totally separated. And the scripture that talks about blessed is the man who has his quiver full. How do you have a full quiver that has accessibility and usability when you've got your family spread all over the world? I think it's a disservice to us. I understand it's an economical thing a lot of times, but at the end of the day, our family is really our chief economic, is it not? I mean, if we're going to get ahead in a world like we live in, it's going to take a family coming together in trust and contributing to the overall prosperity of the whole clan. With our family so spread apart, it's so difficult for us to maintain anything, and that contributes to the security issue. If the powers that be, and I really shouldn't refer to them as that because they really have no power without our consent, without our will and our justification. If we would stop justifying it, they would have no power. But those who today have the capacity to rule over most, I would say the reason why they come up with these see something, say something kind of policies is because it really increases their intelligence. It supplies them with understanding that they can use to further compel people to perform as they would wish them to perform. And to me, this is totally dishonorable. And the only way that we can ever rectify it and to bring ourselves completely out of that Babylonian mindset would be to trust our neighbors, to trust our clan, to somehow bring our clans back together again and trust those who are neighbors and community with us. And they are really the first responders. They're the ones who need to handle something. So if you see something, get with your clan, get with your neighbors, talk about it. You are really the militia. You understand that, right? You're really the militia. The fact that they've replaced the militia with the National Guard is a farce. The National Guard is not a militia. The National Guard is another militarized force, okay, that happens to be within our borders. So the the only real militia there is you and I. Okay, and we respond to our neighbor's crisis and to the crisis of our clan. And we need to keep that intelligence in our clan, and then only when there's investigation needs done, we bring in those who are beholden to the courts. Because the courts are supposed to be impartial. Now, I know that's a whole different discussion for a whole different day. But at the end of the day, we really got to start rethinking this see something, say something thing. We've got to really condition ourselves to be self-preserving. Okay, the police force is not going to save your family. They respond to things after the fact. Okay, you generally have to take care of things yourself. So get ready, be diligent. Those are good words, but see something, say something. No thanks.